Hello. It is Wednesday night and it's time for another Facebook Live. I don't know. Facebook keeps changing things on me. Okay. And I couldn't figure out how to go live. I couldn't figure out how to make a post. Then it didn't flip my camera. I don't like it when Facebook keeps changing things. Hello, Betty. I'm glad you found me. I am going to share this to my group, hopefully, unless they've changed that too. You never know what it's going to be like when you get into Facebook. All right, maybe it's going to work. Okay, now comments are covered up by some other thing. Hey, Nancy. It's very frustrating. Okay, go away. There we go. All right, I got whatever that note was they pulled up. Gone. So now I think I can see your comments. Whew, goodness gracious. Nothing like having last second things like that trying to go live. Okay, we about got it shared. We will be ready to start, I think. I'm bringing over another piece of paper too. All right, so this is the card we're going to make tonight. I am showcasing, let me show you what this is. These are the Tree Lot dies. So if you didn't know, celebration is going on right now. This is when you can earn free things with your purchase. So for every $50, hey Michelle, you can earn something free in here. So let me just show you real quick. I don't have all of these yet. The hippos are coming to me. So for $50, you can get a cute hippo stamp set. For another $50 sale, purchase, then you can get the hippo dies free. This paper coordinates with a stamp set and bundle that's in the holiday catalog. These are not available right now, and I don't know if they're coming back. I've seen differing views on whether they're coming back. So I don't know. Here's a real pretty stylish sketches stamp set. So far, I think these have all been $50, free with a $50 purchase. This paper I have, but I haven't played with it yet. But it's white with gold and silver foil accents on it. This one is free with a $100 purchase. It's a really neat sentiment stamp set. This is what we're playing with tonight. So these dies coordinate with the Trees for Sale stamp set that is in the holiday catalog. So it cuts out these tree stamps. It's got, I haven't tried it. I guess that looks like it might cut out those lights too, doesn't it? But they coordinate well together. The dies are free with a $100 purchase. But you're certainly going to want the stamp set to go with them. But this camper is just adorable. And I love the trees too. There's a little dog. There's little footprints, paw prints that you can make in the snow with the dog. And then this is free with a $100 purchase. It is a stamp set and paper. And I don't have this one yet either. Most of the rest of these I have coming, but not this one yet, so it'll be the next thing I get. And then if you get a bunch of friends together and place a big order, or if you have a big order, there is a stamp set you can get free with a $300 order, and it's this perfect pomegranate. And they always have a host special like this. Now, if you're not already a part of my team and that's something that you're interested in, they have a planner collection. So it comes with a planner, a stamp set, a bunch of stuff for the inside, stickers, notebook. Let's see what else. Carrying case, that's this. Planner pages, monthly divider pages, 4 sticker sheets. So you get all of that. Here's some more pictures of it when you join. So to join, you get a starter kit for $99. That starter kit has $125 worth of product in it that you choose, whatever you want. And then right now, during celebration, in addition to the $125 you pick out, you get this whole planning thing free. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure and reach out to me. You do not have to do classes like I do. You do not have to do live. You can just be what we call a happy shopper, which means you get 25% off everything that you purchase. Not 25. Start out at 20 and then you can work up to 25. All right, so here are the dies, real size instead of in the catalog. And this confused me at first, so I'll just tell you so it doesn't confuse you. This actually die cuts 2 pieces because I had seen somebody put this together and they had 2 pieces on it. But this is just one die, but it cuts out 2 pieces like this. So that confused me until the first time I used it, and I was like, oh, I see. They just made one die, so you didn't have to worry about being too fragile with that narrow. So I wanted to show you, at the end, I'll show you a card we're going to make in my Christmas in July class, which is Monday. So you still have time to sign up for that if you're interested. And we're going to use this stamp set and dies for that class. But tonight I wanted to make one to show you could make something that wasn't a Christmas card at all. And they have challenged us this month at Stampin' Up! They like to give us little challenges of things to do watercoloring. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So let's start with that because it'll take a little bit to dry and I may still have to use my heat tool to dry it. So I'm going to bring in another piece of paper. And these are our water painters, and I'm going to use this. They have different brush tips. This is the biggest one. I'm using Starry Sky. Now, it looks more like Orchid Oasis when I'm watercoloring it. This is Starry Sky cardstock here. This is Orchid Oasis cardstock. This is Starry Sky watercolored. So once you watercolor it, it looks more like Starry Sky. I mean, Orchid Oasis, but it is Starry Sky. Now, when I'm doing something this big, I'm just grabbing another block. Especially, you can squeeze these. They're a little bit harder to do than our old stamp pads, but you can squeeze this and get ink in the lid of it there and use it. But I like to just use a block. So I'm just going to take a block and just get some ink on it. And now I'm going to close this up and set it aside so I don't make any more of a mess. Now, one thing that I've learned, these water painters have push on them, so you want to do that. You also want, this is, I should have told you, this is shimmery white. You cannot do watercolor like this on just our regular basic white. You need to either use the shimmery white or the watercolor paper. But what you also want to do is make sure that you get this wet before you start adding your, and it's hard for me to see. There we go. Now we're getting some water on there. Before you start adding your color, and that just makes it go on smoother and blend better. So I've gotten this wet. I'm sure you probably can't really tell other than that it's curling up. And now I'm going to put some water on here, and you can make it as watery or not as you want. Now, I really meant to tape this down to a piece of cardboard, but of course I forgot, so we'll just keep going. So what I'm doing is I'm just painting this color on here. I'm going to do it all the way down. We'll see how messy I get by the end of it. Just needs a little bit more water down here. And then I'm going to add a little bit more water here so I can pick up some more of this color. And then I'll just start at the top. Yeah, I should have taped this down. When I was playing with this on my own, I was like, oh yeah, I need to tape that down next time. And I'm going to put some more at the top because I want the top to be darker. And I'm just picking up more color. And you would just keep doing this until you're happy with what you've got. Put a little more water on here. Hopefully I won't run out before I'm done. And I'm not going all the way down because I do want the bottom to be a little bit lighter. That looks pretty good. I think that's probably good. All right. Now, before this dries, hopefully I can get this. When I did my card, it splattered on me more than I wanted it to. I was trying to just get just some little dots. So we'll see if I can control this a little better. For some reason, these smaller ones, yes, yeah, I'm making a mess. I have trouble getting the water to come out as easily as I do the big one. Yeah, see, it's coming out from up here. I wonder if I can, I should have just gotten a bowl of water. I wonder if I have anything. I do. Hang on. One moment. I just happen to have, we'll just do this way. Maybe. So I'm just putting the water in there. Because then I feel like I can control it. Oh yeah, and these are backwards. You would expect them to turn that way. They turn the opposite way of what you expect. All right, so I'm going to just get some water on my paintbrush and just flick it on there. Oh, there's, oh, see, now that was a big one again. I got too much. And then if you feel like you've got too much water on there, excuse me, I'm grabbing a paper towel. See how that's making little dots where that water is? I wonder if I can get a little bit more at the top. Because what I really wanted was just some little dots at the top. Okay. We probably better stop before we just make a complete mess. And then if you've got too much, you can just dab it. But that just takes some of that. Yeah, see up there, if we put our camper right there in our trees, I think it'll look really pretty. All right, let's move this whole mess out of our way. Hopefully I can do it without making a mess everywhere else. Maybe. Oops. Okay, we'll let that dry while we're doing the rest of our card. And then if it's not dry, we can use our heat tool to finish it. Okay, so the other pieces I have, this is Parakeet Party, and because these are photopolymer stamps, I'm going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat, and I decided to use Parakeet Party as the background. So these stamps have a solid stamp and then a detailed stamp to go over it to make kind of two-toned trees. Now, if you just have one color of green, you can stamp these on white and the solid one just stamp off on scratch paper first and then stamp it, and then stamp the detailed one, what we call full strength, so just stamp directly. But I'm actually going to use two different colors. So I'm going to use, this is the Parakeet Party. So I'm just stamping one. There's 3 different sizes of trees. So I'm stamping one of each. And then I'm going to put my Parakeet Party away. And I'm going to stamp Old Olive on top of that. So it's a nice dark. So here's my big one. So now it makes a nice two-toned. And my medium one. You know, it's always a challenge when you're not right over the top of it to get these lined up. And the little one. So there, now we have some nice two-toned trees. We will cut those out in just a minute. And then the other thing I decided, there weren't really any sentiments in the trees for sale that didn't sound like Christmas ones. So I pulled out, I haven't used this one before, but this is Charming Sentiments. And it has a bunch of different wonderful sentiments, but it also has dies that cut out all the sentiments and some extra stuff. So like we would sometimes hand cut around something after we stamped it, these will now die cut. And I haven't gone through and matched them up and written anything on them, but I know this is the one we want for the sentiment I'm going to use. So we will do our die cutting here in a minute. So I have my sentiment, and it just says, because you totally deserve it. I thought that was a good one for this card, because it looks like they're just out relaxing in the forest somewhere. I'm just grabbing a scratch piece of white here out of my scrap drawer. Okay. And I stamped this in the Starry Sky, just so it kind of went with the whole theme of it. So we will just stamp this. Doesn't matter if it's straight or not, because we're going to die cut it. I love doing that with sentiments, because then you don't have to worry about it being stamped straight. Okay. Now we've got some die cutting to do. So I have my mini. And I'm just going to cut this green paper in half, just to be sure it'll go through the mini. I'm really making a mess tonight, I tell you. Okay. We'll probably have to do a couple of passes of this since I'm using the mini. So let's get our tree dies. And you'll notice we're going to use the outline ones, but there are also detailed ones. So you could just do, if I wanted to do this same idea but not stamp any, I could just cut out the outline one, outline ones in the Parakeet Party and the detailed ones in Old Olive and layer them, and you would get a similar effect. But I wanted to stamp these. All right, we'll see if I can get these lined up and have them stay lined up to go through there all at once. We shall see. Whoops. Okay. Hey, Patience, welcome. One more. Then the trick is to lay my other plate on top without moving any of them. All right, maybe, we'll see. And then we're gonna roll this through, which I can't hold it and the thing at the same time. Once it grabs this last one, there, I think we're okay. Okay, it's easier to do if you can hold on to the top. So now we have three, hey, they turned out well, 3 pretty trees. So let's set those aside. I'm going to put my dies away so I don't lose them. I would certainly hate to lose these. And then we're going to grab our die for our sentiment. Oops. That out of the way. Grab our sentiment. And like I said, I knew this one is this guy right here, because when I made my card, I figured out which one it was. And I will probably go through and like write in the middle, if there's room, what the sentiment says, just to help me remember which ones go with which, so I don't have to test them all out. But this is so nice because it just goes right around. Again, let's do this carefully. The trees, if they'd moved a little bit, wouldn't have been that big of a deal. There we go. But you certainly don't want to cut off part of your sentiment. Oh, look at that. Is that not fun? Okay. put that away so I don't lose it. All right, we are done die cutting. Let's get this guy out of the way. Bring back this. We're done stamping, we're done die cutting. Now we're ready to put everything together. So while, ooh, that was close. About lost part of my trailer. While we are waiting for our other thing to dry, we'll do some other work here. So like I said, this is the Orchid Oasis card base, and I forgot to cut a white inside, but I'll do that before I give this away. I don't think I mentioned that, but everybody that comments on this video will be in the drawing to win this card next week. Last week, we made a card in honor of my husband's birthday, which was last Saturday. So I will announce at the end who won that. Now, since these are small, I'm just going to use some of my liquid glue. Not a lot. This is a new one, so I have to be really careful. And there's a little piece right here that I want to be sure I get some glue on. So this, pull this up so I can be sure you can see what I'm doing, goes along the bottom here, and there's a little indentation there so you can see right where it goes. And I have seen some people like die cut it multiple times, like in silver for this and black for this, and I just did two. I just did the base and then these little accents. And I think it looks just fine. So this is the top of it. And this is some of our silver foil. It comes in like 3 different types of silver. One's a real bright, shiny. This one to me is almost a bluish, purplish silver, so that's why I chose it for this. And then, where is my scrap of, there it is. I have a little piece of vellum. I think this is the right. Oh, it's a little bit. We'll cut it down a little bit. And on my blog, after this is done, I will post all the measurements. I think I forgot the vellum, so I'll have to be sure I go back and add that before I publish it. So this is like a 2-inch by 3/4 inch piece of vellum. And you don't have to do this, but I just thought it was kind of fun. This is going to be my window. What is Patience? Yes, I know. Patience loves campers. She has a camper. She does a lot of camping. All right, so all I did was on the back of this, I just put a little bit of glue, a little bit, kind of between the windows, around the windows, you know, kind of close to the windows, because I don't want my vellum to go off the side. Like that one probably got a little too carried away over there. So now we have window, like glass in our windows. Okay. So that is our camper is done. Let me turn it back over so you can see. See, it has some nice glass in it. There's also, if you didn't notice, because I didn't know at first what it was until I saw somebody use it, this little die right here are curtains to go in your camper window. Isn't that fun? I probably should have done that. That would have been fun, but I didn't. Okay, let's see how our watercolor piece is doing. Yep, it's still a little damp. I just did not have time to make another one in advance. So I apologize for the sound, but I'm going to use my, this is my heat gun, and I'm going to put it on low to dry it. And we'll get it as dry as we can. And if this doesn't work out, then you know I'll make another one for whoever wins it. I don't give you anything that didn't work out. I always make another one. But this will kind of, and I'm doing both sides just because it tends to curl as you dry it. So this keeps it a little bit flatter. That's getting pretty good. Just a little bit more. Close. I had it pretty wet, so. Okay. We'll call that good enough. And if it doesn't work, like I said, you know I will give you another, I will make another one for you. All right. I think I'm going, so I made another piece of Orchid Oasis because I wanted to wrap some ribbon around it. So, and I'll put all the measurements in my blog, like I said, after this. So I'm going to, because this is watercolored and a little bit maybe warped, I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal Plus. It's a little bit stronger adhesive. And normally when I'm attaching stuff, I would just put like adhesive in the four corners. When it's something like this, whew, I'm going to do it all along all four sides. Oh, I was afraid of that. It's too damp. Oh no. Okay, so you should really wait until it's completely dry. Let's see if we can make it work. And if you get it too close, I think that's okay. You can always kind of fold it back on itself if you need to. All right, we want to be sure that this is on the bottom because we're going to cover a lot of that up with our camper and our trees. Okay. Now we're ready to put our trees, which are hiding over here. Put our trees and our camper on. And so I like to just, actually I did my ribbon next. I'm gonna grab my tape. So with this big ribbon like this, I like to just take a piece. It's a good thing all my tools are right here by where I do this. Just take a piece and wrap it around. I'm gonna try and get this one a little bit closer this way to the edge, and then just tape it on the back. So I'm just using scotch tape, tape it to the back. Make sure it's staying straight. Now I will take another piece and put it underneath. And then just tie it in a single knot, and that's it. And so then it makes this nice, I don't know, it just makes a nice shape there in the middle. I love this ribbon. This originally came out, I believe, in last year's holiday catalog. Maybe the year before, I can't remember. And it was a Halloween ribbon. But it is so fun to use for all sorts of different things. And I decided it was good to use for a nighttime forest card too. Okay, what a pile of mess I have over here. All right, now we can put our trees on and our camper. So I like to just kind of lay them where I think they're going to go. So this big tree can tuck in there a little bit. Whoops, maybe. And what I did is I put the big tree and then the medium tree and then the little tree on top with a dimensional. And then I put my trailer up, my camper up on a dimensional. So let's get these two trees on first. This video is going to be a little longer tonight. This card was a little bit more involved than some. But these campers are so fun, I had to do something fun with it. And I wanted to do some watercoloring too. So that's going to tuck in right there. And what I'm trying to be careful of is I don't want to put the tree behind there so that it shows through my vellum. I mean, maybe it would be okay. Maybe you would have a window on the other side, but I didn't want to do that. So I'm going to keep it about like that. And then my dimensionals. Let's put our camper on next. So you just want to be sure you don't put any dimensionals where the windows are. I think I did 3, like 2 on the bottom and 1 on the top. that one off. There we go. And it can just go right here. And then our other tree just needs one-dimensional. Patience said it would be okay to see through. Yeah, I couldn't decide. I'm glad to hear you say that, because I did something different with the card for class Monday night because I wasn't sure if we wanted it to be seen through. Now, I struggled with this on my card when I was doing this. I'm like, where? If I put it there, it just feels like it's floating in space. So I kind of tucked it in with the trees. So that's what I did on this one. But you can tell me what you think. I'm going to put this on the card base, but you can tell me, would you put it? I didn't want to cover up the trailer because he's too cute. I mean, I could put it up here, or I can put it with the tree. So you tell me what you think while I put this on the card. I'm just going to use my liquid glue because it's right here. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you like it. So this is your normal 4 by 5 1/4 that we're putting on top of our normal card. I'm just going to hold it there for a minute. Nancy likes it in the trees. It just felt like it needed to be grounded somewhere. I like this sky better than this one. Like I said, this one kind of got away from me. Thank you, buddy. All right, I'm going to put it in the trees again. The sign is in the trees. And then we just have one more thing to do, and our card will be done. Whoa. So I decided, since it was, my vision was it was a night sky, where you're out camping at night, well, you would probably have some stars sparkling around. So these are our iridescent pearls, and they are really fun. Very, very iridescent. I don't know how well they show up on the camera, not too well, but they're really pretty. So I decided we needed some little iridescent stars, and we had to have plenty of stars. There's no sense skimping on stars in the sky. So I put a couple of the bigger ones down lower, like maybe they were closer, and then just a smattering. You just want to be sure that you do an odd number is supposed to be more pleasing, and in triangles is supposed to be better. Yeah, I like that one better than this one. So I'm glad somebody's going to get a better card. It worked out better tonight. But that's my nighttime forest camping card. So somebody will get this next week. The card that we're going to make Monday night using this is this one. And I'm going to change it a little bit because I decided after I made this, thank you ladies, I'm glad you liked it, that this white doesn't show up real well against the white background. So I'm going to use the shiny silver on this one instead. So when you guys come to make it Monday night, we'll have shiny silver accents for our camper. And I put vellum here, but then you could see the ribbon behind it. I was able to do it so the post wasn't, but then I really wanted to use this ribbon. So I ended up just putting a piece of white behind there, behind the vellum. So you really couldn't tell there was vellum. So then I put Wink of Stella on it. So what we may do for class is just forego the vellum and just put a piece of white and put Wink of Stella on it. And that will be our window, I think. But anyway, these dies, like I said, are so fun. Let me show you. I'm waiting for one thing to come before I make the third card in class, but this is the second one that we're going to make in class Monday night. So this is a new stamp set that coordinates with the bottle punch that was new in the annual catalog. It's like Vintage Christmas, I think is the name of it. So that's another one that we're going to make. And then the third one is yet to be determined because that's the way I roll. All right. So before we go, let me tell you who won this card. This is the one we did last week, and it was Debbie. So Debbie, I will give this to you Monday night when you come for class. All right, ladies, thank you so much for joining me. I'm glad you enjoyed this card. And next week, next week I will be back for another Facebook Live, and somebody will win this fun camper card. All right, thank you. Bye.